Can you marry right now in this economy?
How can you marry?
Even when they discount the bride price for you, first thing they will ask you, to worry me we had the neck coin.
Yeah.
Are you taking her to your mother's house or your father's house? When they say they are building affordable houses, starting price is $200,000.
How can that be affordable?
If you don't have 1,000 cedis budgeted for a month, forget about it. What irks me the most are the landlords who increase their houses because cement prices have gone up. Are you a witch or a wizard?
Ghana, a country dominated by the youth, is the same country that is the 6th most expensive country on the continent when it comes to cost of living and rent index. How does the young man or young woman in Ghana who is coming up set himself up, raise a family, and invest into the future with all this high cost of living? Kinsley,
yes,
so I try getting a place, just so I can lay my head and, do my one or two things. But in the quest of doing this, I noticed that for every place, first off, you would need an agent. And for every place you would have to go, you would have to pay what they call the viewing fee. And this is not even part of the 10% of the total amount you would pay when you secure the room. And this is the absurdity I see in an industry like that. Why should I go and pay for a place you just show me? And it's not as if it is decided that once I see the place, I will take it. So if I don't take it and we go to a different place, I am going to pay another viewing fee for almost the number of time you can count. So if I go to, let's say, 10 places and I'm paying 100 cedis, viewing fee alone is taking 1,000.
Yes. See, these days when I'm getting out of my house, I say my normal prayer and I say another one, which is, don't let Ghana happen to you. See, we live in a country where when you are born here and your first cry is at any Ghanaian hospital or on this Ghanaian soil, know that you are -5. you and your contemporaries,
right?
You are so back that you have to catch up. See, sometimes when you say some of these things, they don't want us to compare ourselves to people living elsewhere. But something as basic as where to rent is someone's headache as we speak right now. And the conditions, everything about this thing is so complex. The government is so overwhelmed. It's like they can't touch these guys from agents to landlord, dubious landlords, dubious agents. Charlie,
and in other countries, so for example, if you take a place like Canada, they increase their rent based on the province. So if you come to a place like Ghana, you would think that where the area is student populated, rents there would be
naturally high a bit.
And so if the point I'm trying to make is, if you compare this to other places, other countries, you will notice that they are very particular about the area and the people in it. So they look at demography and tell you that no, you can't increase this rent to this amount. This is the highest you can go, because they know that, okay, in this area, it is fisher folks that live there. It is traders that live there. So if you go and raise an amount that is way above their living conditions, of course, they will not be able to afford that. So, for example, let's take a place like Medina, where, so from Medina through to, or let's take it from Adenta, right?
Okay.
From Adenta through to Medina, through to Legon, and right into Okpongolo. I mean, you would agree that there are 2 universities on that same stretch.
My school is also there, by the way.
UPSA. So naturally, you would know that students will be populated there. So what does a government do? You make sure that you don't have rents that are costing like what people working at Nestle will be paying for. And a student in Legon or UPSA would be paying the same amount. How would that student survive?
I absolutely agree with everything you said. And it's not as if we don't have the laws in this country.
Exactly.
We have the laws. So,
exactly.
But to implement it, who is coming to our aid?
Talking about laws.
Talking about the UPSA thing, you just reminded me of my ordeal. So at the time when I was in university, I couldn't afford a hostel because hostels are super expensive. So you'd find that you get some apartments nearby that are a bit lower. And this agent thing you're talking about, see, as a student, they don't even have mercy.
They don't care that you're a student. Like,
no mercy for the cripple. You pay. And when they know the place is leaking, they know the place, you won't like it. See, an agent took me to a house where you literally have to step on blocks to your room. Wow. The place is green. Like when it rains, the place becomes very muddy and you have to walk on blocks to enter your room. And this guy, well, I don't blame the agents because you have people living there. And that's the sad part of this whole rent thing. So they don't care how much you feel this place is not good. Someone is taking it if you reject it. And we have laws. We are not implementing them. See, if your mother or your father doesn't build, you are in trouble. That is why someone will be living at Kaswa, living at Amasaman. The Amasaman there now is gone far.
I tell you,
they are shalaja back and come to work at Accra because you dare not say you're coming to rent. Where? The rich you are working at.
You see,
the people who have worked for 30 years, they are still living in their father's house. And even our president is still living in his father's house because he's afraid of rent.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, talking about rules. I mean, we all agree that we have the laws. It's enforcement problem that is facing us as a country, as a people. Now, there is one thing that you notice these people do. Even when you go to a place and then go to the landlord directly that I want to rent this place, then the landlord will then direct you to an agent that go and see the agent for the agent to bring you so that you pay that 10% to the agent.
They're all going to hell. Oh, yes. See, the Pentecostals have something they say, shine in every corner where you are. I'm sorry, Pentecost for. But shining in the corner where you are. See, we are corrupt too.
Very.
Prince Samuabin said the average Ghanaian is evil. And he is not saying this in vacuum. He has seen a lot. He has experienced a lot. See, you and I, when we get the opportunity, we might do worse than the politician is doing. Because the heart of man is evil. But when you are Ghanaian, it is more evil.
We have stories of our youth unable to get married, who are unable to even move into their own
places. To marry? Can you marry right now in this economy?
How can you marry?
Even when they discount the bride price for you, first thing they will ask you, "To worry, we had the neck coin. Are you taking her to your mother's house or your father's house?"
Well, there are also arguments that look, Ghana as it stands now, our housing deficit is about 1.8 million housing units. You know,
we've been seeing housing deficits since I was little. And when they build affordable houses,
a developing country, since
and when they say they are building affordable houses, starting price is $200,000.
How can that be affordable?
How? And when we are able to build one, we leave it there to rot. Saglemi housing projects. Nobody is talking about it. We are playing politics with it. How do we think as a country? How? Because see, elsewhere, when you are 18, you are in a hurry to leave.
Yes.
Some of us, when we were little, we said we couldn't wait to take our salaries and move. And do what we want. See, we are lying. We are there, parents. We are very sorry. We are still there.
Yes.
For a lady, until someone comes for you, unless you there, you'll be hard girl. And that one said, if you get, people are going to question your source because truthfully, if you are doing a 9-to-5 work and you're even earning 5,000 cedis a month, can you afford for a year? If your rent is 1,000 cedis a month, can you? And they are taking 2 years advance.
You can't. When you take a look at the prices of these houses they rent, sometimes you be like, this cubicle doesn't even match how much I am paying. And let alone to talk about the service. Seto was talking about getting a cubicle in somewhere in Medina, right? For how much? Like you will be
like
paying
600, 700. Hey, Charlie, your school fees hasn't come.
Now I'm here thinking that look, we are in a technological advancement. People are coming up with smart homes. People are doing amazing stuff with containers. So truly, if they want to give affordable housing, not the kind of house they will give us starting from 200,000, a house where it is bankers and people working in government jobs that can afford, not the average Ghanaian or the normal Ghanaian. But there are smart ways of putting out housing. The people are doing amazing things with containers. If you see those designs. So how is it that we are not tapping in all of these?
The various projects you are mentioning are luxury today. Because truth be told, you would want to afford a rent going for, as a student, you want to afford something going for a 400 or a 450.
Because that's what you can.
Exactly. 600 max. But here lies the case, with that, you're not getting a single room self-contained.
No.
You are probably getting a single room with a shared bathroom, shared washroom, lavatory with about 6 to 8 people.
So now to get a decent place to live, if you don't have 1,000 cedis budgeted for a month, forget about it. What irks me the most are the landlords who increase their houses because cement prices have gone up. Are you a witch or a wizard?
Exactly. So you know why they are able to go away with this.
And such
because
people,
we don't enforce the laws.
And the
laws doesn't even allow you to do that.
And what hurts me is that these people, they always don't have money. Because the money you are taking, it will go away. You see that your grandson, he will be sick.
Oh God! Hey, see Ghana.
No, but you see, as we sit here right now, people are losing job opportunities. They are losing stuff because they just cannot relocate from wherever they are to Accra.
That's the truth.
And it is not just Accra. Let me just say this by the way. Koforidua, other parts of the country. Now, places where people were getting decent accommodation at a lower price, they are all going up like inflation. Why? Why?
The landlords will tell you it's because there are foreigners in the neighborhood, or it's because there are
another one.
Often they'll say Nigerians are in the neighborhood. But here lies the case. Are you trying to rent to solve a problem. Or to rent to enrich yourself? That's
a very good question.
I'm not being xenophobic or anything. These foreigners too, when they come in, one person will come and rent. Then before you know it, it's a can of worms. You are housing like 20 people in one room. Then you come and cry to us, the Ghanaians, who you didn't give the house to because they were willing to pay twice the amount.
There are also claims that I will use our brothers, Nigerians. They actually make renting in especially a place like Accra very expensive because you are not willing to pay the 600 or 700, but the Niger man is willing to pay 1,000 for that 600.
Let's even extend it to the commercial places like the circles, the central business districts where you have shops. See, Ghanaians are ejecting their fellow Ghanaians out of the shops and giving it to foreigners because they are willing to pay more. If your mom has a shop anywhere from Adabraka towards Accra, you should be very grateful at this very moment because the amounts they are mentioning, we are talking about residential, but it even goes beyond that. See, we are killing ourselves. So the youth we are trying to empower. How can you find a suitable partner if you are still living with your mother and your father?
A lot of our brothers are single because they are living with their mothers and fathers. A lot of our brothers are single.
And they will meet you at functions and come and ask you, why are you not married? Why are you not finding someone? Meanwhile, 8 o'clock, you want to lock the gate. Meanwhile, 8 o'clock, that's when the party is about to start. When I come at 1 a.m., who am I going to call?
Now let's do a bit of education here. First off, we have the laws. Our only problem is enforcement, implementing them, right? Now, I have come to learn that it is actually illegal to pay 10% to any agent. 10% commission. Yes, it is actually illegal to pay 10% commission to any agent. Yes, and the industry practice is actually 4 to 6%. So it is very, but if you go and meet agent and you do
landlord to the
Yes, even that is to the landlord. You pay to the landlord, and the landlord deals with the agent. So you don't actually even deal with the agent.
The reason why some of these things can't be implemented is the desperation.
Yes.
See, like I'm telling you, you've landed your dream job here in Accra. You are living in Volta region, and you need this. Even though it is not right, what can you do?
Yeah.
Because perhaps the 5 places the agent took you to, it was just this one that is okay, that you can manage. And the amount they are mentioning, if you really need your job, are you willing to lose that job you've been working maybe 2-3 years just to land, just for it to go under the carpet like that? You won't.
Kingsley, I dare say that the youth of this country are very hardworking, smart, but operating in an environment that is not supporting and helping them.
Can't you see that when we go outside, we are winning best this,
we excel,
best this.
But in our own
here
we say we unable to excel.
We do chew and pour. It's not true. We are naturally intelligent.
I tell you.
Like the average Ghanaian, the average African is very, very, very intelligent. But you see, we are boxed. Like I'm saying, I need to break free by 20 years and be bold and tell my parents that I'm moving out because I have income. See, people are working and they are still depending on their relatives. They are still depending on their parents.
Because by the
monthly stipend. Because you are taking salary, but you are still a liability in the house.
But that salary alone, transportation alone, a month, you know how much it is taken away from that salary?
We are magicians, we are magicians because how we are able to manage, and we want to add rent of about 1,000 cedis a month. And I don't know if it is the redenomination of the CD or our stuff are expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
When you compare it to other African countries,
we are most expensive. It's expensive, no doubt. And so the point I want to make is that, look, the average youth, the average Ghanaian youth would excel in any working environment. Put the average Ghanaian youth in any environment that systems work, things work. You would see that average Ghanaian excelling there. So this is a call to whoever is supposed to make sure that the environment in which we operate in is conducive enough. How is it that I would go and, as a student, looking for a rent, and I have to be budgeting for as if I am working at Nestle Ghana or I'm working at
and another.
So it is very important that whoever must enforce what must make sure they are up and doing. Because we can't live like this. Look, we can only be talking about this, and as we are talking, time they go, we are also leaving the youth bracket. Another group is coming into that bracket. Are we going to continue like this? No.
And see, this current generation, if we don't do something, because we are entering into the leadership space now, and if we don't do something, see, I'll be so sad for the next generation or two to call us a failure, because the current leaders have failed us. They have, and they should admit it.
I agree.
Ideally, they should be apologizing to us because they messed it up. And you see, what hurts me the most,
coconut heads.
What hurts me the most is they got one of the best times in the world, not just in Ghana. See, you go to university and you be fed morning, afternoon.
There was a time they were even angry because they were chewing too much chicken.
But what did they leave for us? Nothing. That road they built for you in 1960, you didn't expand it by just one road. You didn't do. You just left things the way they are.
Yeah. So we are the posterity that will judge them. So and this is a call that we also do right by ourselves and by our country, and we hope that the leaders
the leaders, in as much as they are not doing, like I keep saying, the average Ghanaian should also be reasonable, should be empathetic. What you are doing to someone today, like they always say, a house is not like a trunk or a chobos you can carry. It will get to a point that you also need help because your child is relocating to another place. And they always say it's a B.
The guns will say show mono. So let's share your experience. Let us know what has been your toughest experience in trying to get a place where you can also lay your head. Let us know in the comment section.
What hurts me is that moving fee. then you pay for the dropping. They don't like throw anything.
Yeah. You have to, yes.
They will sit by the driver.
You know?
And you have to pay for it. And when they take you, they have to pay for viewing fee. Oh, God will punish you people. You just reminded me of the ordeal I went to when I was in UPS. Right. It is sad.
Yeah.
People have to patch because you can't afford.
You just can't.
And this is years ago, so I can imagine now.
Look, let us know your ordeal. This is a story we would follow.
They meet us today, ask us, why are you not married? Give me a house to stay inside.
Yeah, to stay inside, then I'll marry. This story, we are very much interested in this story, and we are going to follow it through. So let us know your ordeal, and we'll follow it up. Whilst you're doing that, recommend this to someone, a friend, a brother. Till we come your way next time, be a great citizen. We are.
And cut.